Hi, I'm here to share with you something that happened to me almost 44 years ago, around 1965. It's a near-death. It is called a near-death experience. At the time it happened, I had no idea what to think about it. I was in the hospital, and when they were taking me in for some relatively minor surgery, they gave me some drugs, and I was suddenly out of my body, traveling at a very high rate of speed, yet no speed at all. And my consciousness, I felt my whole self was moving to this place, and this place was very warm. White, the brightness was just intense, but the most profound thing was this feeling of being loved. It wrapped around me and loved me intensely. That's all I remembered for many years, until about 10 years ago. I'd read a lot of books but didn't connect with it. I began to connect with it through other people who had had similar experiences, to an organization that studies them called IONS. And I began to find that I resonated with these people, that they understood and I understood them just meeting them. And in the last 10 years this has evolved, and I've come to find out that many things in my life now make more sense. What I really want to share deeply is this whole lifetime I've struggled with neglect and abandonment. I had both parents, a house, and what would be considered the average family situation, except that unfortunately, or for whatever reason, my parents never nurtured me. They never gave me the love and the nurturing that I needed. So for much of this lifetime, I have felt very alone and abandoned. However, once I discovered what had happened to me in this near-death experience, it began to unfold to me, oh, there's this wonderment that I had kept with me all of my life. This experience was very real. And it began to be revealed to me through what I would say just inner thought, that yes, you were there, and God loves you. And on the other side, beyond this physical world, is a vast realm of joy, love. It's beyond words, a place that is wonderful. And we all go there. I know this, I understand it, and I don't know how to describe it. I know it. So as this unfolded for me, I began to look back at my whole life, even from childhood, when I was very young, and I discovered that something must have happened to me when I was very young, maybe when I was born. The feeling or the thought that I got was that I got here and I told God I didn't like this. It was not a good idea. I was not happy. I was afraid of the situation, whatever. And the thought that came to me was, you've made it this far, you have a mission and a purpose, and you need to stay here. So for many years, my life was kind of strange. I always felt as if I was outside of things, observing. It was very difficult to be a part of things. I always felt like my clothing, my whatever, I felt like an outsider. And still feel that way to some extent, I have to admit. But now I understand more that I've had a connection with what I term the greater wisdom of the universe, God, whatever you'd like to call it. It's been guiding me, and I've had to go through situations and lessons in this life on my own to learn and to grow in this. And I'm finding that one of the most important things to me now is to, of course, share this with the people that are interested, but also to help people understand the neglect issue and abandonment issue that often is not understood by the person as myself, because there was nothing that I could tangibly see that was missing. And in this, I want to be able to share in this that there is much more to life, of course, and that many people feel lost, but there's always a connection with the light, with God, with the greater wisdom of the universe is always there. Sometimes we can block it out, which I have done at times because I was lost. I didn't know what to do, and I was trying to fit into the world. I now find that my life does fit into the world in many ways, but I'm also connected with the light, and the light loves me and guides me, and I'm here for a short time, comparatively, in this body, to do what I can do to learn my own lessons, as well as to be here to serve others, to impart to others the love of the light, the joy of the light, and that heaven, if you want to call it that, the other side, is a wonderful and joyous place, and it's a place where we all can return to and do return to in our own time, in our own space. There's been many struggles. I'll go back in just a few things that happened to me when I was a teenager. One instance was a girlfriend I had, and I was very distraught over our separation and the breakup of our little our relationship. I cried, and it really upset me, and for years I felt very upset about this. Then when I contacted this lady 10 years ago or so, and we were just talking, and she asked me about, had I heard what happened to her son? I said, well, no. She said, well, he was killed. And immediately I felt tremendous sadness, but at the same time a strange relief. What it was, when I was a 17 or 18-year-old kid, I knew this. I had a flash of what was going to happen to her if she went with this other person. But I had no way of, there was no way I could relate it or tell her about it or explain it. And so I lived with that confusion for years. And the reason I mention this is there were many strange things I sort of knew in life, sometimes felt very separate in life. I spent a lot of time sitting in the classroom in elementary and high school, but I wasn't there. The body was there, but my consciousness was someplace else. And I didn't understand that, didn't really think much about it until later I was able to look back at it and see that that was just the way I was, and that many times because I was empathic, meaning I could feel other people's energy, sense things, I got very uncomfortable, and so I would just, my consciousness, my spirit, if you want to call it that, would leave and go, sometimes out the window, off, daydreaming, whatever you'd like to call it. So this went on for years, and it's been a rough road, but I recognize too that I've learned a lot of lessons, and I had to go through a lot of this. I returned from the enfoldment in the light with only the remembrance of going to a place that loved me and deeply, deeply loved me. And I didn't want to come back, but suddenly I was back, having to face life with just this remembrance. And this remembrance stuck with me for years. It was just there. It was very real. It was as if I could close my eyes and it was happening again. And only recently did I understand, and in a sense was revealed at an inner level, Spirit revealed to me that I wasn't supposed to know these things and had to walk through life and struggle to learn my lessons. So this I'm sharing with you just to let you know of my experience. Something I've also discovered is the ones of us that I've met and are very dear friends have had their experiences, and their experiences are unique and personal, subjective, if you'd like to call it that. Each person goes through what they need to go through for their lessons and their learning in life. And it's emphasized to me our individuality, but then when I think about the connection on the other side, there's a unity and a oneness that I can't find words to explain. And I recognize it in other people that have had this experience, and that's what brought me to the understanding, was feeling and understanding that other people had been there too, and I just knew what they were, what had happened, what they were thinking, what they were feeling, and it's a very powerful and strong connection. So again, I just wanted to share this, and it's been a joyous understanding, and the other side is just beautiful and wonderful, and there really aren't words to describe this or the other side, and it's a wonderful, beautiful place, and it's a wonderful life here. Sometimes the road's rough, but we're here to learn our lessons. Thank you. Bless you.